Sarah Valentine. I'm joining you from my backyard in northern Nevada to answer a couple questions about my memoir called When I Was White. It came out last weekend and it's had great reviews so far. It was Amazon's #1 bestseller new release in ethnic and national biographies. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the questions that I've gotten since the book has come out, and let's go. This book is about my transition from white identity as an adult to a black and biracial identity. I didn't know when I was growing up that my biological father was black. Both of my parents were white, and they raised me as if I were their biological daughter without ever mentioning the fact that I was darker, had curlier hair, obviously had African American features. It was as if that just didn't exist. And after reading this memoir and hearing that story, a lot of people ask, how could I not have realized that I was black or part black, since I very obviously look mixed race, and since I described growing up many examples of times when people mistook me for black or assumed I was African American or mixed or something like that. The fact that I was 27 years old when I finally confronted my parents about this is really hard for some readers to believe, and rightly so. If that seems very unlikely to you, congratulations. It means you have a very healthy mentality about race and identity. And that's something that growing up I didn't have. It's a little bit difficult to explain, and in the book I try to explain. Here it is. The mix of emotional and psychological manipulation that happened to me within my white family and community that reinforced the fact not only that I was white, but that talking about my being anything other than white was taboo and was off limits. It's almost as if there was a kind of Stockholm syndrome or gaslighting going on, where my parents they were always very present in my life. They were not neglectful in any way, very supportive and loving, and cheering me on in just about every way you could think of, that a kid would need to be supported, except for this one thing. And the idea that they loved me so much was very ingrained in me, and the kind of negative stereotypes about African Americans that I heard in the media and just kind of imbibed from my very white and very small and conservative community always made blackness seem other. And because that was never part of our family, and because I never suspected as a kid and growing up that my parents would lie to me about something that fundamental, it never occurred to me, despite how I looked, despite how often people asked me where I was from or what my ethnicity was, to connect myself with this group that was portrayed so othered. So that is the short explanation of why I was a 27-year-old adult before I actually asked my mother point blank, what is my ethnicity? Do I have a different biological father? I go into depth about this explanation in the book. It is not a simple situation, so if you're interested to learn more, please pick this up at Amazon or any of the links listed below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to be posting again soon.